guys, welcome back to another video.
Special one.
I know, it's very special. We are doing a Q&A for you today. We asked a question on Instagram and Facebook to see what sort of bus life questions you guys have for us. And a lot of you submitted questions. We have them all linked up for you.
Really, thank you.
For real. Really quickly before we get started, we want to thank Megan and Brian for your awesome donation on livingZEAL.com. Thank you guys so very much.
You rock.
Also, we just went to a coffee shop today to charge up on everything because we haven't had very much solar recently, and we completely restructured Patreon. So if you haven't gone to our Patreon yet, make sure to go check it out. We have tons of really good rewards and benefits available to different level of patrons, and we have
so many cool things, so many behind the scenes special features. We have a lot of our books that we're offering you guys. We're going to do shout outs. We're going to do personalized videos.
One-on-one chats and discussions.
Exactly. Key is, though, for people who have already been a patron, the 25 of you, especially the ones who are just phenomenal, like Yoshi and Vanessa, you guys have a lot of rewards already coming your way. So check out Patreon. We're going to do a video about all of that stuff today or tomorrow.
Yes, exactly. Cool. Okay, so let's get started. All right. So first question is from Jasper Jackson on Facebook. What are a couple of things you've noticed you needed but didn't have in the bus? Design, gear, or otherwise?
I guess for the overall utilities on the bus, I would say solar. Overdo your solar setup.
If you can.
Yeah, exactly. Watch our old solar video and then take the number that you come up with and add another 15% to that just to make sure you're covered, because solar's been kind of a bear on really cloudy days or in the winter. Now, as far as design goes, what I would say is instead of designing your bus with a ton of storage, have just enough storage to store the things you absolutely need, and then instead of making tons of space for other things to be, just get rid of it. Just get rid of as much as you can instead of cluttering up your bus with it, and keep your bus nice and open.
Yeah.
Because once you start closing off the walls, it looks really nice, but you'll start to realize that
it's not very practical in such a small space.
It feels much bigger when it's wide open.
Yeah, exactly. These are things that we just kind of did. If you haven't seen our renovation video, we completely just busted this place open and made it really big, and then energy in here is completely different. We just love it so much, having so much open space. It feels like
we used to have a ton of storage under the bed and completely got rid of that.
Got rid of all the stuff too. So yeah, I think that we've talked about this before, but be super liberal with what you're going to get rid of, because at the end of the day, you don't want to feel cluttered up in the bus.
Yep.
Okay, so thank you for your question. Next one is from Alex Choppy. How difficult is it to find parking when you go shopping?
We love parking when we're shopping, because we can just park at the back of the parking lot, and then you just go get all your groceries, and it's always super easy to find parking then, but you get all your groceries and you can just come straight to the bus without having to get bags even, put it in the fridge and start making lunch with the stuff you just bought. The groceries that, when you go in those halls and you come back and it's kind of like Christmas because you forgot about, well, that's right there in the parking lot waiting for you. It's after that it gets difficult.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of times if you're at a 24-hour grocery store, a lot of grocery stores are like that, or even 24-hour Walmarts.
Chill for a few hours.
Yeah, you can stay there for a while. Some of them, in California, we saw had signs that said only 3 hours for shopping or whatever, but most of them don't, and you can just hang out there until you figure out what your parking or camping spot's going to be for the night. So grocery days in the bus for us are Christmas. Amazing. Okay, Reg Lapiton. What were your feelings in the first weeks, months of livingZEAL? Scared, anxious, excited, regretful?
It was funny just talking about this a few minutes ago when we were going over these questions, because we both decided that the first few weeks we're extremely excited. We were kind of living in a twilight zone.
It was surreal.
It felt like a vacation.
Yeah.
It wasn't until the second or third month when we had to really start taking care of ourselves. Really had to make livingZEAL something so that we could support ourselves over more than $50 a month.
Yeah, and what you mean by taking care of yourself is that when we first came into the lifestyle and left our jobs, we had a sum of money to set aside while we were getting the interim, while we were getting livingZEAL going. But as we were living off that money and not making anything, that slipped by. And yeah, a couple months in, we had to really be how are we going to make a living out of this?
Yep.
Got into serious intense mode, and we were thinking about going and doing different things to make money, or how much time we should put on livingZEAL.
That was also the same time
scary.
that my cat Pixel died on the bus, literally in my arms. And it was a really dark, really rough time, I'd say the second and third month, and that was November, December. I started getting really cold, and that was really hard. But once we got out of it, once we got out of that hump, once we got out of that slum we were in, It was so nice. I mean, now we love the bus.
Yeah, exactly.
We love it.
We're so grateful for it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just kind of like how that is with when you start something new. It's always scary at first, and you know, you're not sure how it's going to work out, and it's uncomfortable, like unknown territory. And then after you've been doing it for a while, you just get better at it because that's just how things are. So the longer we've done livingZEAL and been growing livingZEAL, the quicker everything has grown as it goes. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And the more you grow, and that's what I really didn't expect living in the bus, is how much personal growth we would both experience.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, next question. Regina Adams asked, is bus life even legal, and how often do you guys see the cops?
I don't know if that's a sarcastic question, but I like it. It is technically in most states, if you're not at like a campsite, no, it's not legal. It's not legal to sleep in your vehicle in most places.
In most counties.
Most counties, but there are a few.
Oh, for sure.
You can find them, but they're usually more rural.
Yeah.
And we don't see the cops now very often at all. We haven't seen the cops at all since we've been back in Boulder. We haven't seen the cops in quite a while now.
A couple months.
Since we started using the insulating barriers to cover up all the windows.
That and also, sorry, go ahead.
No. I was gonna say what you're about to say. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that, and also changing our like nightly routine in the bus. So obviously, like the only time you really have to be worried about being in your conversion is from like sundown to sunup, because that's when it can be considered like unlawful camping for sleeping in your vehicles. So we've really tried to adapt to that, and we try to rise with the sun and fall with the sun. So when it's starting to get dark outside, we are pretty much done doing dishes or done using our water pump that makes noises. Don't really have very many lights on, and if we do, we have all the insulation barrier up so that you can't really see it from the outside. We're not usually watching lots of like TV or shows or anything like that when it's dark because we don't want noises coming from the bus. Even though it's insulated, still there are lots of windows.
We kind of go down and rise with the sun, like very.
That's what I just said. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. We've done that even in the winter. We were going to bed at like 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock.
For real.
The sun was down. We were just like, let's just go to bed and get up early.
Yeah, summer's so much nicer. Our days are much longer. But yeah, I would just kind of suggest that, because that way you don't have to worry too much about the cops, and we have other videos talking about our experiences.
Probably won't get a ticket. We've only gotten that one ticket, which we fought, and it was avoided anyway. Yeah, for like
camping or whatever. Okay, so Harry Asadorian. Hi Harry, sorry if I'm butchering your last name. Okay, if you decide to have a family, will you continue livingZEAL?
Well, that was my favorite question to get out of all of these questions, because livingZEAL isn't about living in a bus, and it's not about we're going to do livingZEAL, and so we can't do livingZEAL anymore.
Yeah.
If YouTube shuts down, we're going to do livingZEAL on our website. If we'll do livingZEAL on our phone if our camera breaks. We're going to do livingZEAL until we're old and wrinkly, and our kids have kids, and our kids' kids have kids, and we can't make livingZEAL anymore.
Basically, we're not going anywhere. We love sharing our life with you guys. Right now we live in a bus and we live off grid and whatever, but we're going to always live alternatively and kind of just share our authentic experiences. And we've loved the community that we've built on livingZEAL, so we would never just, hit massive fame or whatever on YouTube and stop posting, or have kids and stop posting,
This is our the way we look
dream.
at it. This is our dream, and this is a career path that we've chosen.
Yeah.
And we're always going to stay with this career.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyway, look forward to many more videos for years and years to come. Okay, so Carissa Baudry, what is one thing you dislike most about living in your schoolie?
That was a two-headed coin.
Yes.
Because the thing that I dislike is also one of the things that I like the most.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the fact that everything you own and love is on the bus with you. And that's a great thing, because that means you can take everything you love with you wherever you go.
Right.
But whenever you leave the bus, let's say we want to go on a hike or anything, you always have this brand new type of anxiety in the back of your head that exists because of the bus. I think the best metaphor I could come up with was like leaving your house, not sure if you left the gas on or not.
Yeah.
Just kind of like that, what's happening? I'm not there, it's an unfamiliar
want to make sure
place.
everything's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the other unique thing for us too is that we have our two cats in here, so for us, leaving the bus is if anything were to happen, losing our stuff is one thing, but somebody breaking in, God forbid, and the cats getting out and getting scared and us losing them is so much bigger of a fear that is our worst case scenario. So even we just went to go run an errand a little while ago, and as soon as we crest the corner back into the parking lot where we left the bus, it's almost like we fully catch our breath. Yeah, and it's okay, the bus is there, everything's cool.
Yeah. We have to leave windows open for the cats.
Yeah, exactly.
With screens in them, which someone could come up and just pop the screen out if they really, really wanted to. Please don't ever do that.
Yeah, don't ever do that. So yeah, I think that is what it is. Just you don't have that much stuff, so the stuff that you do have in your small space, you're kind of leaving in the middle of public places a lot of times, or not in a public place, which can be even sketchier, not knowing who's coming in that area. And yeah, you just want to make sure everything's safe. And that's pretty, I mean, that's a human thing, but we notice it more in the bus. Okay, Ashley Corte, I hope that's how you pronounce your last name.
Maybe, yeah.
What was the process to stay at the Viewpoint in San Francisco?
I love this question too. That was a great one because basically, let me just preface this. With West Coast Wandering, every place that we stayed there, we stayed for completely free and we did not call ahead. We just pulled right in and stayed there. Yeah,
we researched it ahead of time on freecampsites.net. Another really good resource is iOverlander, which we'll link both of those up in the description box of this video. But Free Campsites was like our saving grace while we were traveling. We would research like the morning or afternoon of each day to see where we could stay and read all the reviews and all the information on it. And that's how we found that one. We just looked for spots
that teamed with Google Earth, exactly. We'd look around a lot of times to make sure that the bus could get there.
Yeah.
And that particular spot, right on the south side, right over the bridge. North side. Right over the bridge is a free camp spot, that you can stay at for one night and then just go stay somewhere else and come back and stay there another night. That's exactly what we did.
Yeah, we went somewhere else for like 4 days, I think, and then came back on our way out of San Francisco. But yeah, you can just roll on up. It's just a rest area. So some rest areas, we will say, along the coast of California, do not let you stay in an RV or SKOOLIE or whatever. Van you could probably get away with for a night. But this place did let you, and they were super cool about it.
I will also say California is the most strict state that we've come across when it comes to staying in your SKOOLIEs or staying anywhere, trying to park somewhere and just park.
Yeah, I think it's just because it's so populated and so many people come travel there every year.
That spot's great.
Yeah, that spot was amazing. Okay, at Small and Simple Bus, how much is your swamp cooler? Does it use a ton of power, and where can I get one?
It doesn't use a ton of power. Swamp cooler is the great alternative for air conditioner if you live in a dry state.
Right.
So the idea behind it is it fills the air in your bus with cool moisture. So it doesn't really work if you already live somewhere where there's tons of moisture in the air. So I wouldn't really recommend one. Just get some fans if that's the case. But
if you live on the west.
Yeah, if you live in the west, if you live somewhere it's dry, then it works great. It is about, I think this one was like $230, and it's about that many watts too, 230 watts. And you can get them through the link for our Amazon affiliates that's going to be at the top of the description box here.
Cool, yeah. Works really well for us. As long as you have enough solar to accommodate it, then it works perfectly, and it works out well because if it's really hot outside, that means we're getting massive solar, so we can charge laptops and use the swamp cooler at the same time. Okay, Jared Schraber. What do you guys do with all of your waste, like paper, trash, etc.? Well, with trash, we started off when we first moved into the bus with like a normal big size trash can. And because we need a lot of produce, I guess, is the biggest reason, we were attracting fruit flies and stuff by holding too much of that in the bus for like more than a day or two. So we decided to scrap the big trash can idea and just do little tiny bits of trash and try to get rid of them as much as we can. So if we have like a big load of trash, we'll go to the landfill, but usually more often than that, we're just taking our little tiny trash bags to trashes kind of wherever. The gas station, right now we're in like this super, what is this?
This is called a strip mall.
Strip mall. So we're in a strip mall where there are like trash cans lining the entire sidewalk. We'll just go drop our little bag in there. But yeah, our kind of motto on the bus is to get rid of waste as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Whether that has to do with poo or pee or trash or any of it, like
get it out.
Get it out. Get it out.
The cool thing is with Boulder and a lot of more progressive cities is that they have compost, trash, and recycling all together in one trash can.
Like pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, so we can just unload the bus, just pull right up and compost, and it feels great being able to do that.
Yeah, exactly. They make it so easy to recycle and everything. I mean, you'll go to like a Burger King here and they have like compost recycling, landfill. So they make it really, really easy here, and it's much easier when you're in a town that kind of has it all separated for you. But if not, I mean, man, if you're just off-grid camping, you could compost in the forest and collect all of your trash. I don't know, all the goods. We also try not to buy a bunch of food and stuff that's really trash heavy so that we're not producing a lot of trash. But that can be tricky. Okay, Stella Sklar.
Oh, my old friend, my old thespian friend Stella from Liberty Tavern.
Why, hello.
I don't know if you still work there, but...
If you've ever driven cross-country, has your vehicle ever broken down? If so, do you do all of the maintenance yourself?
So yeah, we drove cross-country, and it did not break down. We got stuck in the desert, but it didn't break down.
Nope.
And we have had quite a few times where we tried to start and it just didn't start.
In the winter.
Yep.
Because this is a diesel and we didn't have any ability to
plug it in
to warm our glow plugs up.
So we figured that out. There was one time where we had to have a mechanic look at it and figure it out for us when we were high in the mountains. But other than that, knock on wood, it hasn't broken down. And if it did, I would try to fix it, and I have fixed it a few times. But if it's outside of my comfort zone, I won't even say knowledge level, because I could learn if I really wanted to. But it's all about just the experience, and I don't have the experience. So
yeah, we do things like oil and brake fluid and kind of doing that stuff ourselves, but of course that's not like necessarily engine maintenance related. Another thing too, I would suggest, if you do live in a SKOOLIE or a van and your vehicle breaks down, go look at the forums online, because we've had issues with our brakes or whatever, and we've just looked on SKOOLIE forums and gotten a lot of our questions answered for us that way, which is a great free resource. Also, when I first got the bus, before Chad and I were even together building out the bus, actually no, you were helping me that day. We accidentally hit a switch in the front by the ignition, and it was a lock that made it so that the bus engine wouldn't turn over at all. So I had to get that towed to a mechanic and had them have it for like several weeks trying to figure out what the issue was, and turns out it was just a switch that needed to be switched back.
Overall, it was like $700 for them to tell us it was a switch.
Yeah, so that would have been something where, had I gone to a SKOOLIE forum or whatever back then, I would have figured it out. So definitely utilize that.
Lots of trains in Colorado.
Yeah, we're just in a parking lot, so you know. Couple more questions left. This is one of our favorite questions, so thank you so much, Amanda. At Given Grace TV, how does bus life feel to actually live in versus the idea you had built up in your head? I'm gonna start with that, Bill. You can start with that.
Okay. Well, I love that, because I had been building up the idea in my head like a year before I actually started my conversion. And I tried to play around all the realistic aspects of it, you know, parking in a parking lot, so I might want to get a van, and the heat, and I have a cat, and tried to really break it all down. And what I've really realized now is you think about all those things one at a time when you're romanticizing it in your head. You think about, oh, I wonder what it's going to be like going to the bathroom. I wonder what it's going to be like when it's 90 degrees. But you don't think about it all at once. And that's how it is when you're living in it. It's 90 degrees, and you have to go to the bathroom, and it's getting cloudy, so your solar's going to be gone.
And you have to have a shower in 4 days.
Exactly, and your cat's trying to jump out the window. Yeah. So you don't think about it all happening at once, which I'm not going to say takes away from the romanticism of it, because it's all in how you take it. It's all in how you can kind of roll with it. And we always try to have a positive outlook on everything, because we know it can really quickly become like, what am I doing? Why did I do this?
Yeah.
But don't ever get that mindset. Think like, I'm doing this for a reason. I'm doing what I want to be doing.
Remind yourself of your why.
Mm-hmm, exactly, because it will get a little crazy.
Yeah, exactly. I would just add to that yeah, you kind of have more of an idea. I love to say that the romanticized idea of it, because you look at all of these like SKOOLIE tours and stuff like that and see all the amazing construction work that people do to create a home out of a vehicle, and it's amazing and beautiful and inspiring. And then yeah, once you get into the lifestyle, it's like remembering to dump out your dirty water jug so it doesn't explode all over your floor, and like these little things that you just never had to think about before, that all of a sudden you get good at it. So now it's to the point where it's so second nature to change the water jug, dump the water, throw our trash away, like poo in a bag if we have to. It's so normal because you've been doing it for a year, and there have been times, yeah, where we have been frustrated by it, but I think that we always try to remember why we're doing this, all the advantages that we have in this lifestyle, and not focus on like the potential downsides. There are no downsides or upsides. There's only your perspective.
There's also the detriment a lot of the other really hyping bus life channels can do is you get this idea in your head of oh, well, I'm just going to take my bus to this beautiful spot, camp there, and have this amazing, beautiful view out my window when I wake up every day. And sure, that happens. We take our bus to amazing spots and wake up to beautiful views, but it's definitely not every day. This morning we woke up in a parking lot. Because you have to think to yourself, well, whose property is that? Where am I staying? If I don't want to pay for it, is it free? Like, and
what
every
amenities
day,
you need.
365 days out of the year, you're going to be doing this. You can't stay at some different beauty spot 365 days. It just doesn't work.
No.
And what amenities you need.
Yeah, like the reason we're parked here is because we had to get cat food last night, so we're parked at a PetSmart. Anyway, things like that.
Literally, we got cat food and we're like, let's just park here.
And I also think the other thing is kind of having an unrealistic idea about, like, I can just go park this anywhere in the middle of the woods and it'll be fine. Like, that's not been our experience. The best places like that have been places we've researched ahead of time that we've had good luck with. Anytime we've just gone into the mountains before and, like, had people stop us on a road and be like, I don't know who you are, you should leave. So you really need to do your research about where you're going to stay, because it might not always be super easy.
One more thing that people don't think about before taking on the bus conversion is when you have solar on your roof, that means you always have to be parked in the sun. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. And right now it's hot as both. All right. Last question. So we're getting to the end. Thanks for sticking with us. If you're still here, you're amazing. At Vegan Space Monkey, what's your worst pooping/bathroom experience since living in the bus?
That's a good one to end on.
That is a good one.
Well, way back, before winter even, we really wanted...
Month 2 in the bus.
We really wanted the Nature's Head composting toilet, but it's like $1,000. We didn't want to buy a used one because that feels gross to us.
And it's just so expensive.
And it's still so expensive. So we found a toilet for 1/10 of the price, and it uses water. It has a 4-gallon reservoir, so it just flushes a little bit with your pee or poo. So, we filled it naturally because we live here on this bus, and it's 4 gallons, like I said.
We decided to use it for pee and poo because that's what they say that you can, They say it's built for that.
It comes with some scents, we'll call them,
to try to mitigate the smell.
So the first time I dumped it, I unhooked it all, and I took it to a porta potty, and I turned off around this nozzle thing, and unscrewed it and dumped it into the porta potty, and it went down like 3 feet and created a splashback effect that then coated the front of the whole porta potty.
And it's not like we have a tub to clean that. Like, we have to take that back to our sink and clean it.
Yeah. So I had to clean. It wasn't my poo either. It was from the porta potty.
All right, let's wrap it up, baby.
Okay.
It's getting weird.
So that'll probably end it. We don't have that toilet anymore.
That was kind of the worst experience. I think Chad actually did that by himself and came back and was like, we are not pooing in this anymore.
PTSD.
And then after that, it just became, I've been like making faces this whole time with the camera scene. But yeah, then it just became like a big, huge urine vat, and it was heavy to lift once we would fill it, so then we tried to not fill it all the way, and then it just got to a point where it was like, let's just pee and get rid of it as quickly as possible. Let's not try to store pee in here.
So we don't store any kind of pee or fecal matter in here.
So that's why Eamon and Beck's... Yeah, exactly. That's why Eamon and Beck's system for their little like urine nozzle-y thing is really cool, because it just kind of goes out. Yeah. I don't know what that does to pavement and stuff, but...
I don't think it does anything to pavement and stuff.
Yeah. But more than that, we try to go to the bathroom at places, we try to go to like rest stop bathrooms or park bathrooms, stuff like that. And we're to the point where our like bowel movements are so scheduled that we know exactly when they're going to happen for the most part, and we can plan ahead for when we'll need a bathroom. So, okay.
So thanks for watching.
Thanks for sticking with us on that last question. It's been a fun Q&A. We hope you guys like this. We can do like a part 2 to a Q&A. If you guys have more questions, leave them in the comments below, and maybe we'll do another Q&A in like the next week or 2. Who knows?
But stay tuned, because this is the first time we're going to roll our patron credits after this. So we're really excited about being able to put those after the video.
Yes. Thank you to all of our lovely patrons. And if you haven't checked our Patreon out yet, go check that out. Speaking of pee, I actually have to pee, which is why I've been moving. So we're going to see you next time. We love you so much. And
have a great one, guys.
Have a great one.